It is close to the last week of January. Are you already sick of politics? Well, buckle up. You've got 9 more months of arguments to hear.
That's right. Local manners expert Corinne Gregory gives us some sound advice on getting through that political season with maintaining your basic civility. Right back after this.
Can be tricky. Welcome back. 8:11 right now. Good to have you here. 350 to get across 520 right now during this peak time. So arguments over politics, it can strain relationships and in some sad cases can end them altogether. So how can you passionately follow the next 9 months of back and forth without being a jerk about it?
Corinne Gregory is the founder of socialsmarts.com and also author of It's Not Who You Know, It's How You Treat Them. She joins us for a talk on how to talk politics without driving your loved ones crazy. We all have that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to have you.
Nice to be back. Thanks.
Good to have you, Corinne. Okay, so, this is a really impassioned topic for so many people. They start talking politics and the gloves just come off and off you go. Oh, so how do we get through this? How do we get through this political season without, getting into a big fisticuffs with our father-in-law, for example?
Valium, perhaps? I don't know. No, realistically, you have to remember, everybody's entitled to an opinion, and like you said, politics, very, very impassioned. Religion, money, those types of things tend to bring out real strong feelings in people. I think we've lost the ability to understand that we're all entitled to our opinion and to express it without getting into character assassination.
Okay, so what is the best way to have this civilized conversation about whatever topic it is that we are so passionate about without getting nasty, without getting personal, or feeling like it's a personal attack?
Well, I think the personal is very important, because we have to remember that just because we share an opinion or because somebody has an opinion doesn't make them that opinion.
Right.
And so to label somebody to say, I disagree with you, so therefore you're automatically an idiot, is very demeaning. And you got to remember, how would you feel? I keep going back to that golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. How would you like someone to react to you, even if they feel you're wrong?
Okay, so what do you do at the first sign of your blood boiling? What do you do?
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Away.
Calm down. You could walk away, but let's try to practice civil discourse. We should be able to, as adults, have conversations about serious topics without immediately lashing into your 5-year-old mode, which is to lash out.
But that's the problem, because we know we are right. We wouldn't be having the conversation if we didn't think we were right. So how do you get over that? The idea that I got to teach you something here. This is a teaching moment.
Well, sometimes teaching also comes from listening. And, we've been given 2 ears and 1 mouth and used proportionately. Maybe you yourself should listen. You might learn something. Even if you don't get convinced of the other person's position, you might still learn something that you hadn't thought about earlier. And sometimes you can't convince somebody else of your position.
And you shouldn't really try. Sometimes you're not right. No one else is right. No one's wrong. Sometimes you just remember that.
The debate sometimes is fun, but again, don't get into a personal attack. Now you take a look at what's going on in the political debates. It's not about the issues. It's about who can throw the most punches. It's rudeness and rhetoric. I want to go back to hearing what these people really have to say about the things that are important.
Do you think a lot of us take our cues from that? When we see the debates and we see them really angrily going after each other, and we see negative ad after negative ad, that we buy into that, and that kind of fuels our fervor?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think that has a lot to do with it, and I really, really, really wish that our politicians, our country's leaders would take a moment and say, let's just back off and let's go back to the things that are important. But it doesn't seem to be that way. It's very negative.
Okay, so if we're in a conversation and somebody has the opposite point of view, and we need to convince them that they are completely wrong and we are completely right, what's the best way to convert someone to your point of view?
Well, maybe you can't. And why do you feel you have to? It's okay to disagree. We are a melting pot as a country. We're all of different opinions, of different mindsets, and maybe sometimes it's okay to agree to disagree.
Okay, why do you think, this is just kind of like the bottom line, why do you think people gravitate towards the hate and the negative?
I think we're getting more and more programmed towards it. And remember, even in the media, bad news sells, because we like the excitement and we like the fact that it gets our adrenaline up, but it's not necessarily healthy. And the more you focus on the negative, the more you will see the negative. So back off a little bit. Let somebody else have a voice.
But how about, so many of us, too, kind of gain an identity from politics. I belong to this group. How do you go about having a civil conversation when you are a member of this group and this other person is a member of another group?
Well, again, I guess that's the beauty of the thing. The reason we have different opinions is because we should be able to talk about things that matter to us. And deep down inside, aren't we really still Americans, aren't we still on the same side? Don't we still have the same goals?
Yeah.
I mean, we all have the pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty at the core. So I think we need to really sometimes step back and just say, you know, this is not life or death. Nobody's going to die if I'm one way or the other.
Okay, so here you go. What is your best advice for getting through the next 9 months of all the political talk?
Oh, I personally say turn off the TV, but
Really?
hey, that's me. No, just take a deep breath.
I would staunchly disagree with that.
Well, except for the morning. Except for the morning. No, but take a deep breath and relax and remember, you know, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Nobody's going to die.
Great.
Well, unless we're talking about staffing our military, but that's a whole other issue. 8:16 now. Corinne, Gregory, so good to have you. Appreciate
deal
that.
with?
Yeah, you've really teed the next one up.
Thanks for the advice.
And off we go. Okay, let's check in with MJ right now. Get a look at the weather.
And you think it's safe to talk about the weather? You should see the groups I hang out with.